Jesus develops levels of partnership with people. He had the 70. That was a big group. Then he had the 12. That was a smaller group that drew closer. And then there were the 3, Peter, James, and John, that went only certain places and certain prayer meetings with him. And then there was John, who was at the cross. John, who could hear the heartbeat of the Master at the table of the Lord's Last Supper when he leaned on Jesus' chest. That's intimacy. That's closeness with God. And what I'm asking you today is, what level of partnership are you on with Jesus? Are you just one of the crowd, or are you near the cross? To the 70, he spoke in parables. Not every one of them understood. You have to guard your prophecy. You have to protect from dream thieves what God has specifically spoken to you personally. There comes a moment where I can't rely on my mama's faith. I can't rely on my wife's faith or my children or somebody else. I have to go only on what God has promised me, and I have to stand and fight my own warfare over that promise. You're not one of a number to God. You're not one of a number, you're one of a kind. And to the 70 he spoke, but to the 1 he spoke. What level of partnership? Do you want parables and little light things, or do you want God intimately guiding and speaking to you? Commitment keeps us. He said, feast on them, Timothy. Why feast on them? Because when you feast on them, then you can fight with them. So feast on the prophecies of this book. Feast on the promises of this book, because you can't fight unless you feast. And if you feast, you develop faith. And if you have faith, then you can fight. Feasting brings forth faith, and faith brings forth a fighter. And you fight. You feast and you faith and you fight. Everybody repeat after me. You feast, you faith, and you fight. I need 100% class participation. You feast, you faith, you fight. Some saints have lost their fight. And you just letting all hell hit you, and you just moaning and groaning, but you got to feast on the prophecies of the good report. And when you do, you get faith back, and then you start fighting back. And when you fight, it's a good warfare because you win.